graze heal. That'll keep him alive for now. And in fact, look at the healing. He is now going to get aided now by at least the Winter's Curse. As Sumail with a two-man call underneath that tier 2 tower. Hanskin will fall. Nico Baby still having his level 3 reincarnate, but it's Limp is the one in trouble now as the Axe army slowly spinning him to death. Now unaided by that vessel, Limp continuing to try and run away. As Thompson will waveform after him, and it's going to be Sumail with the dunk. Curing the kill and ending a 6-time unstoppable streak here on Limp.
On point teamfight execution by OG. That was exactly what we were talking about, right? I mean, the Timber Saw is a freebie there, sure. But then afterwards, you being able to kill the Tiny first, that was the way you had to do it. You catch the supports out of position. The Axe is not bothering or concerning himself with a Wraith King. On top of that, what actually saved the Monkey King there was the Holy Locket. Let's not forget that you can actually use it on teammates. And that extra bit of healing towards the end allowed Seb to stay alive. Really, really well played, that team fight on OG. This is what we saw, by the way, last game they played with the Axe carry. This just a bit earlier, where the team fights, they reach a point where they're chaotic, and OG just rubs their hand together. It's like, this is where we relish, this is where we were born. You know, where the chaos is one of us. And Alliance needs to have to deal with this. Unfortunately, Quincy Crew could not do so, but Alliance may have a better plan. They have the heroes to do it, for sure.
Yeah, they got to be like super certain that if we use Mystic Flare and the Ancient Seal on someone that's not the Morphling, that you do end up getting that kill. Because at least then it's like an even fight, right? Or at least it's a 5v4 in that sense. Because if you use that combo of spells and Morphling is not affected by this, he's just going all in. There's nothing really that he's too scared of this game. You know, Bushwhack is always a threat. Wraith Fire Blast, he can usually Manta dodge. And that's kind of about it. At this stage, he's too tanky for Limp to just solo burst him.
To see that again, right? There was the Mystic Flare used, as you mentioned, but immediately saved. And with that, once you got that Cold Embrace, you were lacking actually the magical damage. You already used all your burst. There was the Holy Locket I was talking about. The Radiance might have been able to sort of take him down with the Arcane Bolts, but the Holy Locket made sure that was impossible. Alliance, now they're rethinking their strats. They gotta find the solo kills, make it so these engagements are not as difficult, so it's not a full 5-on-5. But Seb, oh, he actually got bushwhacked. There's the Mystic Flare. This time it is going to work as the Sharpshooter was there to take off Seb's head. Sumail is the next target. He does use the Berserker Skull. Extra armor for now. They hit him with the arrow. Saksa protecting his king. And what a royal guard. Sumail will be able to get away thanks to Saksa's efforts. No till 2.
He could maybe almost blinked right on top of where Sumail was TPing away. That was a little close for comfort. But he's not going to be able to find him. I'm sure Sumail saw the Radiance burn and maybe went a little monk ass, but he's all good to go. TP in top, and he's going to continue farming BOTs now on the Axe, so he's very, very fast.
Thank you for that comment. Top tier analysis. We got the Ethereal Blade as well on the Morphling. So now we can say the Morphling kind of came online, right? He went for like a stats build, and then deviated into the shotgun a bit later. Gives you the viability of going for both, not immediately into the shotgun, which would have made you a bit too weak this game. I agree with his choice. But if it stops him, so at some point he has to build a Ethereal Blade. It's in his contract, right? So
I believe it is. Yeah, I believe it is.
Because OG's green, of course.
Oh, okay. Saksa, though, he's going to get hit by the silence and cut down rather quickly. Nico Baby very eagerly getting right into the face of the Mirana and hitting her with Wraith Fire Blast. And he's going to be able to do that a little bit more effectively as he's just about to finish off this overwhelming blink. Then into the Eye of Scotty for our Nico Baby Wraith King.
Okay. Why overwhelming blink first? We've seen this before from... Was it Nico Baby that we were casting that did this as well, where he actually kind of rushed the overwhelming blink to a degree?
Yeah, I believe it is.
So what's the idea here? Cancels Blink Daggers and Axe, stops Primal Springs, that's pretty useful. A bit more magical damage, I guess, on the Winter Skirt or the Cold Embrace. So if you still have it off cooldown by some miracle, you'll be able to burst down someone that's been saved. That could be a potential. Also better farming.
Yeah, it's good versus these illusions of Axe as well, because it basically, you know, removes that attack speed bonus you do get from the counter Helix.
True.
And other than the Manta style, you don't really build too many attack speed items on a carry Axe. So that is going to be a little bit of a large DPS, a little bit of a large. It is a pretty big minus to the DPS here. So there you go, Nico Baby. Oh, there's the blink right into the face of Seb. As now in they go for this team fight. They've already gotten rid of No Tail, so there's no Winter's Curse available. Nico Baby in a bit of trouble. Sumail just running him down as Seb and Thompson both looking to try and get Hanskin. They have cut down the tree of Seb though, stunned for a couple of seconds as he now will look to rejoin the fight. Thompson in the Timbersaw form, diving underneath the tier 2 tower, will lose the Aegis. The rest of Alliance look to set up around him for the second life.
And Bushwhack misses, but they do have the toss. They continue with the Wraithfire Blast. Thompson is full strength, though. How are you going to bring him down? 2k HP left. Alliance has to give up on Thompson, but they might still be able to find some stragglers. Let's see. Oh, never mind. They go for Thompson again. He took a different path. Thompson perhaps a bit too cocky, but was it justified as they're actually going back in? Thompson was just baiting. Samael's going for the squirrel. Dunked. Goodbye to FNG. And with the E-Blade, Nico Baby, how are you going to hit anything here? S4 or Nico Baby, they're going to go with a man against the man with only one life. But they don't want to get out of this Wukong's command.
Oh.
Nico Baby re-engaging yet again. The arrow misses. Want to kill Seb, actually toss it forward. Says, I'll deal with Seb, you go for the Mirana, and Seb is already dead. Limp, acknowledging he was strong enough to finish off the Monkey King. Saksa will die to Hanskin. Alliance end up turning the turn of the team fight.
Yeah. Tide has been turned quite easily there over for the likes of Alliance. I think it ends up here in their favor. Yeah, 4 dead for OG. The fact that they're able to dispatch of Notel... It was Aegis as well. Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, it was just Aegis on Morphling. It wasn't a death, that's what I'm saying. It was 3 dead plus Aegis,
good point.
technically.
Good point. 3 dead plus Aegis. I mean, it's huge, though. It's so big that they're able to get rid of Notel immediately in that fight, because then there's no concerns whether or not they group up anymore. You're not really that scared of them after that. Ends up biting them a bit in the butt, because Sumail, it does, you know, much like ILTW did yesterday. Oh, hold that thought. They actually are able to catch Thompson. Saved a bit, though. The magic damage is not enough. There's so much healing right now onto the Morphling, but not enough. At the end of the day, Limp is going to be able to right-click through him as soon as he pops out of that cold embrace. Nico Baby might consider going up high ground, but can't. Now that the Arctic Burn is going to put that Blink Dagger on cooldown.
I have liked that the overall Blink pickup, though. He's able to just chase after the supports really easily, initiate with an extra bout of damage, which of course gets boosted by the Ancient Seal Veil Discord. It's been good here for Nico Baby, and the extra tankiness is definitely welcome. Now they can go for some towers, using the Assault Cuirass, of course, to their advantage. Another overall Blink, hoping to burst out the Mirana. They use the Mystic Flare, everything in their power. Yule's at the dispel that silence. She needs to leap away. Saksa, they hit her with the Spirit Vessel. She's down. They've lost Saksa, but in exchange, OG might be able to take down Limp. They're chasing after him. BKB has been activated. Seb really wants this kill, but Limp, he's only getting away. Seb will jump on top. That's going to guarantee it. As Seb sets up the Wukong's command, doesn't want S4 chasing after him, but S4 still wants to kill Samael. Who's going to protect him this time? Nico Baby so close to die, but he still has a second life anyway. Samael's just a bit faster thanks to the Boots of Travel, so Nico Baby will have to settle for No-Tail. As Seb has been left behind, Alliance is now starting to sandwich him. They all go against Seb, who gets healed by the Cold Embrace. No-Tail will have to pay for these sins. Overrolling Blink, and No-Tail's down for the count. That's a dieback, but still, going for Seb, guaranteeing the kill on the Monkey King as the Squirrel dies. All the woodland creatures are falling, and now it's only the big beefy boys fighting it out. They don't want to continue this. Alliance is done with all this bloodlust, but OG is not done yet as they go for S4 who has A on disc. He still has the Timber Chain, but so does Thompson and the shotgun on top of that Lotus Orb, so he won't be slowed. Instead, Nico Baby, actually from behind, he saw the Mirana, wanted the Mirana, but instead he's only going to find his own death. Nico Baby, the greed. That was an extremely greedy play by him, and he didn't even get the support as a result.
Yeah, that was a bit brutal. Good buyback out from No-Tail in the middle of that really, really long fight to make sure that he's able to at least bait them out a little bit longer. Sumail just looking to drag people back in. I mean, that fight started off, I mean, there's so many things to recount. Limp really making the Tiny look just super broken as well, able to blink in and just kidnap Sumail, who has got to use BKB super early on just to get back onto his own high ground. Oh, it's a close one, but you can't just get into the fountain of OG that easily. You know, they're the ones that usually want to go swimming first.
What I'm kind of loving about these fights is that, honestly, I can't really tell who's winning them, and I think neither of the teams can either, because they keep baiting each other, and sometimes I'm questioning if they're baiting themselves to a degree. I mean, I think the end Nico was a bit too much, but all these plays that Alliance is making, like, it's this philosophy that Alliance has been taking that allowed them to get all these sneaky kills out of it. So even though maybe that play was a bit too far, I don't disagree with the idea behind it, which is let's keep trying to get these sneaky kills where OG least expects it. We have insane pickoff potential, but in 5-on-5 we're a bit weaker. So the best way to use this is to use OG's chaos against them.
Yeah, I thought I juked myself out there for a second. Seb had an item on the core I didn't see. It's the Helm of the Iron Will, and I thought he just had queued up a Divine Rapier casually. I was like, Seb, not like this. Go Satanic first.
Yeah, it's Nullifier this time because he saw the A on disc. He's not going to let that happen again. I think the Undesk was a good pickup. Oh, the smoke.
Right.
This is somewhat of a bait. Samael actually walks in. He has a rolling blink himself. But Samael will be able to last this. He has a BKB. In fact, they're going for the Wraith King first. Bit difficult though. Nikobe still has the second life. Winter's Curse to reset the fight. Actually, to retreat perhaps? OG? They have the low ground right now. They need to recover the high ground if they really want to fight this appropriately. Thompson turning into the Wraith King. Got the crit out of it. Yeah, actually, they're going to kill Nikobe with the illusions. Not going for Limp. Mystic Flare though, it's bursting out Samael. Wasn't expecting that amount of damage. Cold Embrace at least used. Saving Thompson. He has been silenced though, but he is full strength already. Nikobe somehow still alive. He hasn't even lost his first life. Instead, it's poor little Thompson trying to get away. Even with full strength, he doesn't have the resilience to tank all of Alliance's damage, and they'll lose 2 here, OG. Thinking they could do it, but unable to bring down the Wraith King even once.
Yeah, he ends up getting level 25, I want to say halfway into that fight. So he's got that Mortal Strike cooldown, which of course is going to be a huge amount of lifesteal for him every single 2 seconds. On top of this Eye of Scotty in the middle of that fight, making this a really, really difficult engagement for OG, because as soon as they go in, they're kind of just committed, whether they like it or not. It's going to be second Roshan of the game, Aegis Cheese, and that Aghanim Shard, as they do at least be able to find the courier of Nikobaby in the secret shop. But it's not going to do much to stop them from completing Roshan.
I like this strat. Alliance realized that the true weakness that OG has is the reincarnation. So like, why don't we just give it to a second hero? And then that way, 2 heroes are unkillable. It's literally 1,000 IQ plays here. He also got shard out of it for Tiny, so that's nice.
Radiant's top tower is under Radiant's top tower.
So I think the reason Sumail ends up not having Manta Style there was because he's got Flicker, so he's depending on being able to use Flicker to make sure he can get out of... Oh, hold on, S4, and Disc, of course, being dispelled by that Nullifier. Go baby, he's immediately in on a no-tail. They want to stop this curse from coming through, but they've got 4-step Sharpshooter just barely out of reach here. As they drag back Nico baby just barely. He's going to pop this Minotaur Horn, though, just to be able to escape back down to the low ground. But the rest of his team is here to support him.
Okay. Alliance biding their time. They know that there's no need to rush this. They'll just wait it out. But OG, because of the axe, they also have some pretty solid lane clear here. And some good high ground defense. Mind you, we haven't been able to see it because Nico Baby, as soon as he sees the high ground, he's like, oh, I have to jump for this? Oh, easy, easy. And he just blinks right forward, trying to kill one of the supports here. Oh, we're gonna see the blink. There's the sharpshooter that Richie was mentioning. It just barely.
Whew, whew. Clip the wing. Luckily,
yeah.
it's a wyvern, not a dragon from Game of Thrones, so it doesn't go down instantly.
That's true. Good thing for No-Tail, because if they lost the Winter Wyvern there, they would have been without any counter initiation options, and that'd be a real pickle for OG right now.
They're just not really that scared, though, of the rest of the counter initiation. Like, Seb is mean and he's tanky for sure, and if he's allowed to, does a lot of damage. But with the burst that they have, they can pretty easily get through him.
They figured out the Hoodwink has the shard now.
Decoy.
Yeah, decoy. Honestly, pretty good shard though. It's the only issue, of course, is that you need to you can control the illusion to be quite clever with it, but I think it's quite a good shard. If it wasn't for the long cooldown, I think it'd be better. But it's 1,400 gold, so what? Are you gonna give it another OP ability? Oh,
no,
what, Seb?
DKBs, he'll be able to escape. That's
Okay,
also going to give the early warning system for Thompson to go ahead and back away, as he was also farming nearby. S4 though, closing the map across the map rather quickly with that 25 talents. Thompson is going to try and fight him. He's got Sumail here, so it's a bit of a bait. Aeon Disc is out. They do not have the the nullifier that they need. FNG though on the other side of the map, as Alliance are still looking to poke and prod in the base. And they're losing. OG are losing, actually. Saksa in trouble, saved momentarily by the stun, but he leaps down to the low ground and is picked off by FNG. There's a dunk at least onto S4, who does not have buyback. But we gotta get back and defend these barracks.
S4, you had to die for this as Alliance. They're taking the racks. Your death was worth it. Don't worry, brother. Oh, no. The Tiny got caught out with a Berserker's Call. But Nico Baby actually wanted to fight this. They don't need S4. Nico Baby alone can do this. They hit him with a nullifier. Oh no, actually he avoided it, never mind, because he was invisible in time. Some mail. There's still the Ray Fire Blast. Nikobe's not leaving your base, it seems like. Nikobe's confused, he thinks this is his base now. He's going for Thompson, this time the Nullifier will hit. As Thompson desperately trying to murder the squirrel. Unsuccessfully though. We still have cheese on Nikobaby, so I think he's kind of fine, but he might realize that without the Timber Saw, there's just no need to play this aggressively.
Classic S4 play, distracting enemies so that your team can take base. It's going to work out pretty nicely as they are able to secure the entire top lane of barracks. Wow, already Hanskin turning that Aether Lens into the Octarine core. We can see here how this fight started off. Sharpshooter. Oh, wow, they just completely assassinated No-Tail. Didn't even see it coming.
That was a very dramatic death with the slow motion as well. That looked like Game of Thrones there for a second. Thompson gets an illusion. Oh, he's baiting it out. Of course he is. Nico Baby really want that illusion room, but will that be punished? We'll see. Nico Baby still has a second life and the cheese. Might be forced to use it relatively early as Lim comes back in. There's the cheese.
They got Thompson.
And Thompson will fall. Winter's Curse though, reset the fight, but without Thompson, are you going to have enough damage? The Axe Illusions are hitting, they're spinning as well, and they want
good arrow.
They will take it. As from behind, Monkey King sets up the Wukong's command. Seb, how are you going to survive this? You, maybe with a Cold Embrace, the force that we're talking about, it's going to work out. It's going to save Seb. Nico Baby still has that second life though, and Seb will regardless fall. Limp came back into this to die. That is not what he was looking for there. Barely got away with his life earlier, and now just sacrificing it. But will that be in exchange for some mail? We'll see in a second as S4 is trying his best to kill off his axe. They need some sort of stun. FNG, where's your pushback now? Using the sharpshooter in desperation. But that's not going to stop that TP. Nico Baby instead finding a poor little Morphling, stunning up Thompson. Thompson has been hexed, and they want some roasted pig for dinner. The question is, will they get it? The Flicker helping him out with the Void Fire Blast, settling the kill. Alliance not leaving any survivors. That's a dieback for Thompson.
Yeah, it is. Hanskin, he dies back for that, but he does so much damage in this fight. He ends up getting the kill credit for the death on the Seb. And now, I mean, you've got buyback on Seb. Soxa's back in 9, but Morphling is the bulk of your damage here. Morphling's been able to distract him long enough. There's Nico Baby. There's blood in the water. Immediately diving tier 4 is onto Sumail. Gets braced now, at least by No-Tail. Make sure he's healed up aplenty. As forward to retaining away, Sumail now looking to displace Nico Baby here. A little bit with that call. Nico Baby taking a bit of damage as Seb is going to be able to set up the Wukong's command around him. Nico Baby, though, right back in onto No-Tail, trying to at least get rid of these backline supports. S4 hit with Nullifier as the dunk didn't go through. Out from Sumail, he tried, but there's too much HP for Nico Baby. He's not even dead yet. Life stealing even more off Seb as the stun will connect. He'll finally end up losing that first life. But that's a dieback now on Seb.
No, I don't know how you're going to defend this now. It's Axe versus the world with the help of a Mirana. Sox has done so much before, but no, Soxa won't even get a chance to help here. He has to leap the safety. Instead, they're going for Sumail. Sox has already been bursted. Limp wants the last one. It's going to be poor Axe. There's 3 toss charges. Sumail won't last this. The buybacks come out, but Alliance, they're now running rampant in the OG base. OG has 2 people to defend this again, but this time they only have a single life. And that better be a valuable one.
Soxa doing his best. He did it yesterday versus Enigma, just trying to get the enemies to dive a little bit too far, but Alliance focusing onto the buildings. Tier 4 is down. There's the jump back in. No-Tail stunned for a second. Chakram is out and already killed off by the tree. Is going to be No-Tail. Sumail now right back on in as they toss him up and down and up again. That time they got an illusion, but it's not going to matter. Throne is down. It's going to be Alliance taking game 1 over OG.
What an impressive performance. Oh, FAG's happy. FAG's very happy. What an impressive performance by Alliance, honestly. I don't think I think OG played a really good game. I think their draft was really solid. Yeah, there were a couple of haphazard plays maybe into the mid game, but it was just Alliance. It was just Alliance doing so well. OG identified the issue halfway through the game. They started killing the Tiny. They actually used their power spikes really well. And the only issue they had was that they were not up against the ideal draft for an Axe carry. I think the Wraith King showed. He just became unkillable at a certain point, and Alliance abused that to a ridiculous degree to just destroy OG towards the end. They didn't really have a chance as the game progressed and Wraith King got more and more farm.
Absolutely. I felt like they've also played really nicely around that Morphling, especially during that buyback fight, just kiting him around and giving just a little bit of a fight for OG to try and latch onto and take it away. But speaking of taking it away, don't we wave on over to our panel and say hello to Tsunami and friends?
Well, hello. Yes, it is indeed the conclusion of game number 1, and Alliance cheesing, they're smiling, they're having a grand old time. It was a fun victory. And let's go to a break before we figure out just what made it all that fun.
is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Alliance coming into this game not caring. They're like, oh, it's offlane Monkey King, offlane Axe. I don't care. We got 6 people in our voice comms, 5 people in our voice comms. I don't care. We're going to kick your ass no matter what you bring our way, OG. And this game was statement game. They do it in style.
Yeah, amazing play by Alliance. I think their take on this game was really interesting in a lot of ways. So we'll talk about the laning stage afterwards as we take a look at these highlights. Every single time jumping with the Tiny and the Skywrath Mage. I love the perma-silence that comes out of the Octarine core with that Skywrath Mage. Made it so hard for Topson to play Dota. And in the laning phase, I was thinking, how do they deal with this Monkey King? This is a problem. And what they did was they did this aggro tri-lane, which went fairly well. They had a good lane. And then you had S4 on the Timbersaw, who was really struggling, of course, versus the Monkey King. And then Limp just rotates constantly, killing him. He just sits in the secret shop, murdering him over and over. They were just so sure. Like, Monkey King is good at laning, right? But in a side lane, he's insanely killable. I feel like we've seen that throughout the entire tournament, is Monkey King is a little bit too far up. You go on him, he does nothing to get away from you. And so that was their plan to deal with the Monkey King. It's like, sure, pick this cheesy shit against us. We're just going to kill you with Limp Tiny.
Yeah, and I think OG's, their draft plan, like, we were shocked by it. We're surprised. And it looked really good at first. But how Alliance were able to react, as Jenkins was mentioning, just killing the offlane solo hero, which is basically the same level in gold as a mid hero. But not only that, they saw the heroes and they instantly decided to aggro tri-lane. I think at the Ana Major, the only time a carry axe really lost a lane was when he got aggro tri-lane. I think it was like a Terrorblade, Earth Spear, and A that aggro tri-lane. It was versus Almay, and Almay had to go to the jungle really early. LGD still won that game because they were the best team at the tournament. But I think Alliance really did their research on this hero. OG's plan is super cool, right? You have two silence that are good versus Timbersaw, and then theoretically you have a mid that beats Tiny, but unfortunately Limp sort of just outplaying tops in there.
Yeah, he's that we talked about it. Like, that's a matchup he's probably played so many times. Like, I mean, any matchup they could have given him. Like, he just first picks the Tiny, and I know that the Morphling Tiny is something that like a lot of Tiny players are used to. And if you can get like a lucky Invis rune or a haste rune or something like that, you can catch the Morph by surprise. And Limp is the one guy that I would like bank on doing that in a game to solo kill somebody.
It's all about mitigating that snowball potential, which Purge kept his eyes on in their strategy versus OG.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Monkey King was off to a really good start here. He is 6 minutes in, 42-14 versus the 21-2 of S4. A very cool skill build from S4, getting 3 points. And Timber Chain basically giving up on armor after the second skill point because he cared about damage. He did a couple Timber Chains here to try to lower Seb's HP. Seb scans, knowing that the Tiny is gone, but it's a little bit too late, unfortunately. So the Avatos is a pretty easy cleanup despite his nice advantage. And then Limp just hangs out for a bit after they buy Arcane Boots on Timbersaw. And it took quite a while, actually, for them to get the Seb kill. He played safe at first as the creep wave pushed up, but eventually he got a little impatient. He assumed that Tiny was back at this point. That would have been the time he gets ganked, but reacts pretty well. He doesn't get fully Avatos, so it kind of looks like there's a really nice turnaround point here. But because he tries to go for this Limp kill, S4 is ready to go with that level 4 Timber Chain, and I'm sure he did not expect way more damage and way faster speed coming out there to get that kill. So that was a really nice way to limit what the Monkey King was trying to do. And then in the safe lane, Sumail, very far net worth, ahead in the net worth. He's sitting up just under 5k at the 10-minute mark, a full 700 gold more than anybody else. Gets ganked here. Sumail does the smart thing. He does call and TP's out, and literally nobody expects Wraith King to have 4 points in stun, at least not since like 2014 or something like that. It's been a long time since I saw somebody max this ability up. So that was a really, really cool kill as well. They end up working down Seb, getting him kind of low, pressuring the lane. That was really cool. But I really liked how FNG dealt with Sumail afterwards. By the way, he's still on top. 0-2-0, has got no kills, no assists, still has way more net worth than everybody else in this game. Here's that observer board that Tiny placed much earlier when he went for that Seb gank, by the way. FNG just puts damage into Tiny, keeps his HP low so that he is potentially yankable. And because Limp had such a good early game, getting that solo kill on Morphling, getting those nice 2 rotations, he gets his Blink Dagger just before 12 minutes. So even though Sumail does show here, what's going to happen when you're low like this, especially when Hoodwink throws some extra nukes on you, is you're going to leave the lane and go jungle because you know that you're vulnerable to be ganked. So just putting pressure on him with a 5-position hero is very effective for setting up this ultimate Veil Smoke Blink Dagger reveal. So even though Sumail does die here and he's now 0-3-0, he's still top net worth in the game. Just imagine how bad it would have been if Alliance didn't do all these successful kills.
So definitely a lot of potential in what OG were going for. They know what they're doing, but Alliance know what they were doing just a little bit better. At least in this game one, doesn't really matter where you're going to put the Monkey King. They're one step ahead. Let's see if they can continue this trend or if OG will toss another curveball their way in game number 2.
Stay in line, catch me. And you can try to catch me. You can try to catch me. I'm out of line again. No, I'm not going down, my friend. Walk away, don't fool yourself again. Walk away, don't hurt your brain. I'm feeling right this time. You can try to catch me, you can try to catch me. I'm feeling good this time. And you can try to catch me, you can try to catch me. And you can try to catch me, you can try to catch me. I don't know what I must have been smoking. I haven't got a clue. But there you were before my eyes, like a goddess, and I asked if you could be mine. Oh my God, you are so beautiful, so beautiful. Keep on shining like you do.
Game 2 about to begin, and need I remind you, this is for elimination and regional pride, because winner is going to go on to face Southeast Asia with T1, and then winner of that is going to go on to face Eastern Europe, Virtus Pro, in the grand finals. So which of these three regions are going to be the strongest? North America already eliminated from contention. Their one representative, Quincy Crew, fell to OG. I know, all right.
God, our region sucks, boys.
They're terrible.
I can't believe you only got one team to this event.
Yeah, it's horrible. We just
They should not get any spots at TI.
I agree.
I read on Reddit.
Or sponsors.
Or sponsors.
Yeah, I hate sponsors.
They should just not be allowed to play Dota.
Except for the ones at this event. I really love these ones.
Oh yes, I'm a big fan of the ones that sponsor the talent, the players. Yeah, and they're playing for $400,000 in this event. Why do they need sponsorship money?
$400 million tsunami.
I'm not entirely sure that's
depending on what country you convert it to.
Conversion rates
Like even billions.
Production Mute Jenkins.
Mute Jenkins. You have the power to mute Jenkins.
You can press the button.
I can press this to mute Jenkins.
Jenkins,
no,
talk.
he just never talk now.
1, 2, 3. Hello.
Yeah, you're talking into my microphone. How about you test what a first phase Hoodwink is capable in OG's hands this time, because it's looking like it's going to be a tops and mid. No more Hoodwink for FNG.
And then the instant pickup of presumably S4's Magnus, the best Magnus on the planet. This man,
the son of Magnus.
This man makes this hero look good when it's bad, and it's good right now. So he makes it look gooder. Aoi, back to you.
And they pick up the Wyvern with it, which is classically a Magnus counter. For OG, they pick up what I think is the best Wyvern counter in the game. I have no idea what the teams think with all their scrims and extra knowledge, being better players at Dota.
It's
but
smarter.
Pick up Phoenix, they're smart, more handsome.
Yeah.
Better friends.
Yeah.
Fresher clothes.
Nobody likes you. You don't have any friends.
Chillest restaurants.
The Phoenix, it's really good against Winter Wyvern. Just a lot of magical damage against the Code Embrace. You can area control so that even if you save someone, they sort of just get saved into an egg.
I think it's good against the Magnus too, for the same reasons that you said that it's good against the the Winter Wyvern, like you RP and you pop the egg, and it's like the question is like, do you want to fight into that or not? If you're Alliance, it forces a decision, which is kind of annoying. Like Magnus, you want to RP and just all in on that whoever you hit, right?
For sure. I think historically that's sort of been Phoenix's niche. Like we saw even at the 2017 Kiev Major, we'd have VP versus OG, and VP would pick Warlock, and OG would always just instantly pick this Phoenix, because if the enemy team is trying to build any sort of teamfight lineup, and you have slightly better teamfight, their lineup doesn't work.
Yeah,
fundamentally it's just countered.
Yeah, the game just ends because you can never fight, and that's the only thing that you can do if you mass team fight.
How did you feel about the Skywrath as a counter to Cold Embrace? Was it relevant at all in the last game or not really?
I think not against Cold Embrace, but it looked really good otherwise. I didn't really see him ulti Cold Embrace targets. Maybe like once that game.
Well, it was like there was like
couple
once.
times.
It's pretty good. It's like, I think the reason we didn't see it a lot is because he couldn't Cold Embrace. Like he couldn't Cold Embrace pre-Force Staff against the Sky ult, because it's like, oh, I'm just gonna kill this guy if I Cold Embrace him. But even just with the Tiny, the amplified damage as well as the toss into the Skywrath Mage combo was enough to insta kill Sumail a few times.
I also really liked his Veil pickup. It's it's multiplicative, and usually that's diminishing returns. But if you pass the threshold of like 100%, you're actually getting extra value. Scar Silence plus Veil will do the Veil will give more than 18%. Probably gives, it'll only give like 20%, but it's nice.
I mean, for a bursty lineup like they had with the Tiny, that can make all the difference.
And Veil amplifies Tree Toss.
Does it really?
Because it's a spell.
Because it's a spell.
And Limp was really good at tossing it at a creep beside the heroes. I always saw him doing that. So it's 150% times the Veil. Quick math, Jenkins?
15.
177.
What?
Thank you.
Okay, wait, so explain this, because Lacoste was also lecturing about this during the Southeast Asian DPC. Why should mid-Tinies toss the tree at a creep and not at the hero when they're trying to harass?
Does more damage.
I don't think it does.
It does more damage.
See? These Jenkins-ass players.
No, I'm pretty sure I was right about the Mars thing.
You were right about the Mars thing.
I'm pretty sure it just does more damage when you toss it to everything.
No, it's 100 on the main target, 150% on other stuff.
Correct.
How much you want to bet?
I will bet 1 slap on Tsunami.
What the
I will bet 2 slaps on Tsunami.
Agreed.
I don't agree to this!
Back to the draft?
Back to the draft.
Back to the Tsunami?
I'm looking it up, but I don't want either of you to win.
We'll see. So I pick up the Mirana. This is the Phoenix answer to some degree. It's not bad with the Magnus, honestly. These big setups, Winter's Curse plus the RP into Arrow, it's really not bad for those solo pickoffs, even though you're committing a huge ulti. It's still some setup for the Mirana Arrow. You're always going to get a 5-second.
Also, I think Moonlight Shadow's underrated. It's basically a free smoke, so you can get in there with the RP.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So they pick up the Omnite. That's
what the hell?
Classic counter to Magnus.
Okay, read this tooltip for me.
You can't read. You have to read it
Throws
to
the
him.
tree at the unit. Splash damage 150%.
And proccing your attack on it.
And splashing around.
Yeah, so that means that... Ow! What the
So Omnite's a classic counter to Magnus. You have Guardian Angel, which is clearly good versus the physical damage and power, but you also have I wanted to say Cleanse, but Kyle says
Don't
so I want to say something
you dare
else.
use that
a
Kyleism.
strong Dispel.
Thank you.
For the Magnus RP, and also you can just what's that spell even called?
I don't even know.
W
Heavenly
spell,
Grace.
Repel, Heavenly Grace.
No,
before
nobody
they get
plays
RP'd.
Omni, so
I don't know what the spells are called.
Yeah, it's
It's called Heavenly Grace. It's a
Thank
strong
you.
spell, provides strength on the target, and status resistance?
Yeah, status resistance.
Okay, then.
Yeah, Gods had an interesting argument behind why the big millionaire BTS owner Gods he had an interesting argument behind why this new Heavenly Grace is worse, and he said magic or spell immunity is just 100% status resistance, which is true, but with status resistance you can bait people. And also, it works against these.
Does anyone think that Repel is worse than Heavenly Grace? I think it's near unanimous. that
No,
people
when
have-
I don't think so.
When
Really?
Omnite
I think it's
was first pick, it was because Heavenly Grace was much better.
Yeah, well, they added the strength component.
Also,
to it
Repel
now.
used to be purgeable. So
Yeah,
you could
that's
just
true.
purge it with the Diffusal
That
Blade.
is true. Hey, there's a
Whoa,
purging
diffuse-
guy.
that was even older. Okay, well, here's a strength hero that you can synergize with the bonus strength from Heavenly Grace. It's Sven.
And a strength hero on the other side to purge out. You can still purge the Omni ulti, right? I don't know. This hero
can.
can
Yeah,
never
you
get
can.
sick.
You can.
Guardian
with
Angel
the
can still be
little
just purge
Satyr
off.
creep.
Yeah, the little Satyr is super legit on Doom. It makes it counter a lot of heroes that it otherwise shouldn't.
Traditionally, I think Wyvern's supposed to be really good against Sven. But with Bushwhack Phoenix, I don't think this is the case. If you Cold Embrace, even one of your tanky dudes, he might just die. Like if they get to a Spirit Vessel on one of their heroes, you get the Phoenix Ray, a Spirit Vessel on him, plus the Sharpshooter. That hero's just dead in Cold Embrace.
Yeah, that's true.
Sven is a very scary hero when he can buy stuff like SNY and have stats resistance from Heavenly Grace and just always move forward into fights.
Yeah, it's a good counter to these big team fight wombos. Like, you know, we talked about how status resistance is kind of like a worse spell immunity, but in this case, when you have these BKB piercing things such as Doom, such as Magnus RP, such as Winter's Curse, it's way better. Like, Sven is never going to be stunned. So it's good for Alliance that they have like 3 of them to layer on there. Although I think you just Doom the Omni here. I would imagine that's the
yeah, ideally, yeah. It is a lot easier to knock that Doom than Omni Knight. His Guardian Angel is just such a long range now, right?
Yeah.
Before, I think it used to be 700 AoE. I believe it's 1200 now or 1300.
Yeah.
Something really far.
When they changed all of the aura items to be larger, they changed the AoE of that too.
So you can sort of like preemptively put a Heavenly Grace and just try to hide, because you know there's some sort of hide and seek game between you and Doom, where he wants to Doom you and you want to like just hide and wait him out.
Imagine he'll probably pick up a fairly early Lotus Orb on Omni Knight just to counteract that Doom.
So it is an offlane Omni Knight, right?
We don't know yet.
We don't know
Hard
yet.
to say, yeah.
Okay, so it could be 4 position, it could be
5 even.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
5 Omni. I mean, that was I think last time it was picked, it was being picked as a 5. There's
Yeah,
like
it was.
There's like the meme build with that the Ag Shard hammer.
As 5?
As 5?
No, not as a 5. No, I'm saying as a core. But that was more of like a very brief pub thing. But when it was picked in competitive before, it was kind of just like having this status resistance and purge or dispel on a 5 position seems inherently good if you have some hero that's actually worth giving status resistance to, such as a Sven.
Yeah, I think generally it's picked as a 1 or 3. I think, as a 5 or a 3.
Yep.
I think Zai picked it also against Magnus on Secret, and then I can't remember who picked it as 5, but it actually looked decent.
The thing is, then your lane as a 5 would be Sven Omni Knight against some ranged hero.
Yeah, maybe like Mag Potom, probably.
It's it's Magnus though, and Magnus is not the best lane winning hero, and Omni 5 is surprisingly decent at winning.
I think he has 4 armor, pretty high base damage, decent
move speed.
Purification's easily one of the best trade spells if you hit on them, right? It's just heal plus pure damage.
Yep, you pick up an early Orb of Venom, punch people real hard.
I think it is going to be 5 Omni Knight. It might be 4 Omni Knight and they put the Phoenix up there, but I would actually prefer it to be a 5.
Omni's eventually going to become the 5, almost no matter what.
Exactly, yeah.
Even as an offlaner this year.
And you do want items on Phoenix. Like, this is such a high impact Phoenix game.
Yep.
If he has like the shard, you know, if you can even get to some Shivas or any items really, the gold is just really high impact on Phoenix.
Yeah, because like the Phoenix disengage in the team fights, even Doom is like wants to commit and run at people. If you can just egg on his Doom, it feels really bad. The only hero that's really good against the Phoenix is Mirana, but you know, it's a support hero and you're building into like vessels and items like that. You're not particularly good with Tranquil Boots at killing an egg.
Yeah, and Mirana's gotten some attack speed nerfs over the patches. Also, they made Phoenix's egg 6 hits instead of 5. Like, when it was 5, Mirana's support really countered her. But even back then, it was really the Mirana cores that countered Phoenix.
Let's confirm what these lane was. Lifestealer indeed. It's going to be Seb on the Sand King, No-Tail 5 position, Omni Knight, and Hoodwink is being played mid by Thompson. And Alliance last pick, Lifestealer. I imagine there's going to be a lot of contention in the triangles this game, because Alliance is going to be like, well, Sven is basically your only core. Sand King and Hoodwink are mainly just utility.
I'm going to make a call here.
Let's hear it.
This Lifestealer, I was Sven in a pub, and I was 1-17.
By the way, it's Limp on Magnus. Mid-mag.
Oh, okay. Offlane Doom, cool.
Okay,
but
1-17.
Lifestealer beats Sven in a 1v1. I popped all my stuff. He popped all his stuff, and I fought him to the death, and he killed me. And then I saw D2 Bowie posted a Twitter video, and he's like, "Which one wins?" And I was like, "I know this because I just fed 1-17 to this. I had the same items. Lifestealer wins with this late game shard.
And he has Empower.
And Empower,
but
yeah.
He does not. But Sven has an Omni Knight.
That is true.
It is a battle of the buff boys in this game today, boys.
Which one are you favoring?
I'm going to go with the Lifestealer, just because I was on the other end of that, and it wasn't very fun for me.
Going 1-17?
Yeah.
Curtis, how about you?
I think it's a pretty good Lifestealer game. I'd like to see OG win so we can get a nice game 3.
Sure.
So I'll just pick them.
For the grudge match sake, I'm also hoping for a 3-game series. Who knows if it's a possibility. But I want to hear the cast by Seek and Strike and Avo Plus.
Hello guys, and welcome back. Thank you, Tsunami. And quite the risky move there by Jenkins. You know, he's casting an alliance match. He's talking about his pubs. I don't know about that one. Anyway, let's see what this game is gonna show us, because we have some quite nice strategies here. Particularly something we actually used to cast a bunch. This the 4 Zoomer strat of the Omni Sven. They used to run this so much. They used to ban Omni first ban every single time against them. And now it's OG Bring It. Learning from NA. Oh, the memes are getting livelier and livelier.
I can't believe it. I mean, NA's already out of the tournament. What are they going on about now? But you're completely right. The Sven Omni, it's only second best. It's the second best Omni combo, Omni combo. Because the best one is hands down. It's going to be that mid lane Huskar. No one else uses strength as good as Huskar, but Sven is a damn good close second. And because Sven usually just gets kited around the entire game, ideally is how you want to play around a Sven. That status resist for him is absolutely huge. This game, though, Yule Scepter, we do have a natural Yules builder on Alliance, which of course is going to be one of the better counters to this Sven overall, and that's going to be in the Marana. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that item is going to be used this game for Hanskin. Played an awesome game last time on the Skywrath Mage, and I'm looking forward to the impact he has in this game here.
Me too. It's going to be certainly an exciting matchup. Another good combo, actually, that we feature. If you're one of the old people like myself, that lane combo that you used to hate the lane against back in Dota 1 in the early stages of Dota 2, which was the Omnite Sanking. It's not the lane combo this time, but you still have the little Purification Burst, like little burst, which actually pretty good at dealing with Winter Wyvern in the Cold Embrace early. Might be part of the reason why the Sanking also got picked. A little extra buff there. Oh, we'll see. Samael suffering a fair amount. Purification already used. There's the arrow. Samael just wants to get back home, but Limp is not going to let him. First blood given to Alliance's mid laner, already starting with the right foot.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice as well. That should be, pretty early on into this bottle. You're going to be taking a lot of damage out from the Squirrel here in the mid lane versus Thompson. Not much you could really do about it other than just tank up, buy plenty of regen, and just, in the late game, channel all that Wrath and RP the Squirrel later on, and just about one-tap her pretty much. What's going on here? FNG is going to be able to TP away. No Tell is just making sure he can do as much extra damage as possible.
Yeah, we've seen this, right? Usually when Thompson plays the Squirrel mid, you need something to just be able to hunt her relatively easily, because otherwise, I mean, we saw this in the Quincy Crew game, you needed to organize your whole hunting squad. You don't have dogs, you can't really smell her out, it's so difficult to find her between the trees, it's tough. And Thompson always makes you lose time with that. Even if he loses net worth, it's okay, because he recovers nicely, has such good lane clear, and even can go for some dangerous farm by doing that. So it's a great way of opening the map that OG has abused a lot this tournament.
Yep, we go through trees pretty nicely at the very least for Alliance. We don't have like a bespoke, tree killer or like anyone. Basically, the way you think about it is.
Call him?
No, no timber this game, unfortunately for Alliance, right? So that's going to be a little bit of a difficulty when it comes to hunting down Thompson, because guaranteed win or lose, whether he needs to create space just to buy time for Sumail to get his item, or if he just wants to farm, he's going to be split pushing these lanes. He's going to be a big thorn in the side for Alliance.
Yep. That's true. The counter I like the most against the Hoodwink in general, is a very easy kill against her is the Ember. Actually, really solid at doing that, or any of the spirits actually. Particularly Ember and Storm really stand out at being able to break it. As you said, I think there's ways in this game for sure. You can even Doom her as well. That's another way to just getting rid of that. And something the panel did not mention, but also very true, is the Doom also brings a basic dispel. So anything that Guardian Angel actually is going to save, you just Doom that target, and that target is dead to rights.
Oh, very true. S4, eating a stun out from Sumail is going to be fine. Scorched Earth, and he's just too tanky. But, yeah, no, that's a good point. It is going to be a great game to get this Purge creep operational, though, yet again. Again, it's just something super annoying, even if you just hit it onto Sumail, just to slow him down a little bit more as he looks to run around in these fights.
Yep, gets rid of the Scurry, of course, gets rid of the Warcry. Like, there's so many useful things to be purging off. You can even use it defensively against the spirits. Okay, S4. No. But the Heavenly Grace, unfortunately, all you can do is hit more. But S4, as long as he backs out, he should be fine most of the time. Not too dangerous. I don't think he's gonna die at all this lane. He has some really nice early armor, and even went for the double gauntlets early to deal with his Sven.
There's plenty of damage, though, that they can pump out here, so got to be a little bit careful. He's still got 6 stick charges there now, popping them. But Sumail, he knows, like Aoi said, he knows when he's strong. He knows when he can secure his own farm, and for the most part, with the Omni Knight in the lane with you, this is definitely a lane where you can afford to do that.
So we're seeing Limp kind of leaving the lane of Thompson. I mean, not very surprising as a Magnus. If you can afford to go jungle and there's not too much loss there, you might as well. The creep wave is near the tower anyway. Thompson does offer a lot of harassment. And I mean, Thompson destroyed a Batrider mid, so if you're going to be able to beat that matchup with Hoodwink, I think a Magnus certainly is going to suffer. There's not many chances of you being able to shockwave skewer her into the tower.
Oh, well, he's at least going to go for the shockwave play mid lane, but not much else done. Yeah, I think it's a good response by Limp, just to not really worry about it too much. You know, you're not laning versus someone like a Lash. You're not laning versus someone like a DP or a DK. You can afford to just farm waves in between, and, you know, maybe the creep wave gets pushed, but you come back and you push it right back in the face of the squirrel, and you're all good to go.
Well, that's a good arrow. Can they turn that into a kill? No-till? This is the base armor the panel is talking about. Tanking those Mirana hits pretty nicely, but the leap, Hanskin's coming into this. The Heavenly Grace to heal him a bit, but it's only a little bit of regen. It's not going to do enough, even with the extra strength. The poor Omnite will fall there.
Nowhere you could really go. Alliance, by the way, starting off this game with 2 Blightstones on each of their supports. I assume one of these is eventually going to get turned into a medallion into Solar Crest here for Nico Baby, but they really do value just being able to harass these low armor supports. Phoenix especially here is going to suffer a bit to the Wyvern in the lane.
Nico Baby. Okay, the stun from the Centaur. The neutral creeps are allying. Today, they really hate offlaters, huh? They're just attacking whatever they see that's a 3. Seb suffering much like Lelis. Yeah, he's not going to die. Lifestealer doesn't have enough damage just yet. He did go for the point in rage just to, to survive that lane. As S4 and Hanskin, I mean, are you really trying to accomplish anything in this lane but getting the basic farm on Doom? I don't think you can get close to them at all, really. I think there's much more opportunities of you doing something bottom, really, with Lifestealer and the Winter Wyvern at this point.
Yeah, I think Hanskin's probably going to look to maybe throw an arrow top and then look to rotate mid lane for a minute 6 rune. But we can see Thompson and Limp alike are very keen to just, you know, let the melee creeps do their thing in the lane, farm a small camp in between, and then make sure that they're not taking any tower damage here too early on. Limp's already super tanky here. Yeah, 1200, 1300 HP with the power treads ready to go.
Yeah, the Magnus is not going to get killed. In fact, I don't think Alliance needs to get too many, any kills really out of these lanes. As long as you stabilize due to the power of the Empower, sorry about that, you're going to be able to easily recover regardless. And OG, I mean, the difficulty is OG has a good ganking squad to deal with you in the mid game. With the Hoodwink sanking, I think most things will die to that, especially if the Omni has a couple points in Purification to add to that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Lots of DOT, some good slows as well that you can end up using to make sure you can secure these kills. Hopefully they're able to give a little bit of farming time to Saksa this game, because kind of picking up on what Ali was saying, there's a lot of items you do kind of really want this game as a Phoenix, because not only do you really counter the Wyvern, but you also really counter this Magnus quite easily. There's only a couple of egg hitters you're super concerned with. You know, this is one of those games, Lifestealer especially, yeah. But we've got ways to protect you as well here. But like I said this earlier today, and we don't really see this much in shorter games, or at least like first or second item, mostly because of the prevalence of the Holy Locket. But seeing something like a Refresher on this Phoenix, I think, could still have decent value if it just wasn't such an expensive item.
Yeah, you like seeing the rush on the Refresher, and I don't disagree with that idea. I mean, the Holy Locket seems just such good value this game because you combine that with the Omni Knight and you just get an insane amount of healing. Of course, Heavenly Grace actually boosts up that healing, as we mentioned, because of the extra strength. So I can see you going for just easier items than the insane double Refresher. But hey, we've been seeing a lot of Nyx rushing Ag, so it's not out of the question here. Seb in the bottom lane has a Soul Ring and a Power Strike, so you should be fine, unless... Okay, Seb saying the Power Strike to the last second there, and... only level 1, not going to get too far off, but just enough as Saksa trying to play against his counterpart, his icy counterpart, and kicking him out there.
Yeah, if we look over like at something that Nico Baby is going to end up building, might decide to go into like Armlet, Sange, into, you know, whatever the heck he kind of feels like. But basically, the Armlet, Sange, the most important part there, because already, I mean, he gets popped into a Cold Embrace. Whether or not FNG has the Holy Locket, it's still going to be amping up his heal in that Cold Embrace by just so much. Like, I could really see some damage issues here for OG if we do get these items online for FNG and Nico Baby respectively. because really the only damage they have here to set up for is going to be the magic damage coming from an Epi, a Phoenix Supernova Sunray, and the Hoodwink.
I mean, at some point the Sven will come online. That's when the damage issues stop happening. But you're right, you know, in the early levels, God Strength might just not be enough. Limp, oh, actually skewers a scroll into an arrow. Hanskin jumping around like a frog, and Thompson will fall. Limp, nicely played there. Really want to get rid of Thompson as Nico Baby. Want to get that kill on Seb. He didn't come in the dust for that, but maybe it was just to harass him a bit. Very tired of this constant sandstorms.
Sumail already into the jungle here, as the top lane has broken down a bit. He doesn't really want to lane versus this Doom anymore, especially with the ice armor, as we can see him chase No Tail around the tower a little bit. But No Tail, it's not too weak. Oh, my bad. That was just a replay. Sorry. Not only do I sound like Suns fan, I also get baited just like he does too. But No Tail can slowly de-push these waves here, make sure that they're not going to be able to lose this tower too early on, as well as gain a bit of XP and gold along the way.
That's true. I mean, that kill was very valuable, though, so I see why you got the replay going. Being able to stop Hoodwink from being too impactful early is something the other teams have managed, and the issue was that the lanes weren't as easy. This time the lane seems a bit easier for Limp. We're gonna go for the Omnight in the top lane. Oh, Omnight hates the Doom. It's his arch nemesis. He's the founder of the Holy Light, you know, he's a soldier of righteousness, and then Doom comes by, takes away all your spells, puts a pentagram under you. He's just scared, he's constantly running away because of it. Unfortunate.
Seb will actually TP up here to defend the tower. This will leave FNG down bottom all alone. He's going to be able to push a couple of waves here. 3 points in the Splinter Blast, so we've got plenty of split push available for Alliance on this Wyvern alone.
They're taking Sumail for a ride. They don't have the Purge, though, unfortunately, so they're thinking twice about a double damage rune. You know, if Sven is glowing any kind of color, red, blue, you just don't get close to him.
Well, now is blue and red together. And still with the Mask of Madness available, I don't think this tower's very long for this world, especially with the wagon now coming up.
Yeah, and I mean, they took advantage of this time to at least take the stack, so I mean the Sven won't be able to take them, so that's a way to utilize this time if you think you can't defend this tower, but it is still a loss in map control. However, this means the stacks can't be stolen, and it was well spread between Nico Baby and Limp. Limp getting the better part of it, it seems.
Nico Baby, he's going to be able to recover pretty quickly here and look to close the gap to Sumail just a little bit with the 40% cleave that he's eventually going to be getting. It's max cleave and shockwave, so he doesn't just have to follow Nico Baby around the entire time and keep reapplying the buff, because he's going to be able to find farm pretty quickly in between.
Okay, Hanskin just got away from Thompson. That bushwhack always sets up for the potential sharpshooter, so Hanskin, you know, not gonna wait this out. He has the Yule Scepter queued up, so that the idea here is to completely cancel that sharpshooter initiation. In addition to setting up for the arrow, very high value item in this game. And of course, your favorite thing that Mirana does, arrow the catapult. Oh no! They blocked it. The glyph. They found a way to deal with this disgusting interaction.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I mean, it still kills through glyph, so you know that's a little. I mean, I guess you can also eat creeps through glyphs, so that's fine, right? But keeping alive the wagon is just about to guarantee this bottom tier 1 tower. Limp is going to look to apply some pressure mid. We'll actually proc 2 TPs out from the legs of OG.
Soxa. Wait, Thompson's joining as well. But OG's just here to defend the tower. Doesn't feel like they want to engage at all. Seb will try to do the same in the top lane. After all, since OG's already taken the mid tower, they're looking pretty good when it comes to map control. They should be able to secure a good amount of farm for the Sven. It seems like now it's full recovery for Nico Baby. Let's see if the Empower will work out for him here.
Bottom tower is under attack.
What do you... Okay, so Armlet Sange, okay. Do you fight immediately on the Armlet Sange this game? Is that the idea for Nico Baby?
I'm not sure. It looks like maybe they were thinking about going for it, but mostly I say that because S4 did have that Blink Dagger queued up. Instead, he just fully bought out the Hood of Defiance, so he's not looking to be this tanky frontline initiator, at least not until Limp has got his own Blink Dagger. So it seems like they're going to rely a little bit more on the Magnus for the initiation in this kind of mid-game before we can get the Blink Dagger online for S4. Smoked up, though, he may... Oh, I apologize, actually, S4 does have the Blink Dagger. It was just on the way in the courier.
Yeah, now he has it, and are they going to try to look for a kill? It seems like with the smoke. They do also have Winter's Curse. Sumail seems quite juicy. Sumail's running back home, though. He wants nothing to do with this Doom. Thompson, no, there's the Hoodwink. Coming in with a bushwhack. Acorn shot on top of that. Nico Baby. just raging himself to safety. And Sumail, he stayed there a bit too long. They doom him, but there's the TPs to respond to this initiation. Will they succeed? They stole the RP, standard resistance on Sumail, but he's still going to fall to the doom. Perhaps not the kill, the purification. And they actually save him thanks to the bushwhack and the purification. Guardian Angel to boot. Sumail will live. The last magic wand the same from the Splinter Blast damage. In fact, FNG is the one who's going to die for this. OG just bamboozled Alliance. Alliance thought they could really get that kill, but it was all an illusion.
Yeah, mass TPs, definitely well worth it here. At the very least for Alliance, there's no immediate objective available for them to take, but that's going to be a huge loss for them. Nico Baby, at least farming at peace in his own triangle, is not going to be too affected by this, but it's not exactly what you were looking for here off the Blink Dagger reveal for your Doom, as well as actually, well, it's going to stop Limp from farming too much heat here as well. That's 4, back down bottom though. Saksa, yeah, he's got Icarus Dive, he's off and away. Has already maxed himself these Fire Spirits. Thompson with a TD rune activated, chasing after Handskin. Oh, he actually is going to be able to find him with the Ironwood Tree, and Seb blinking on in to secure the kill. Is going to be able to get the job done.
Acorn shot apparently is for noobs. Real pros use Ironwood Tree to set up for their kills.
Honestly, I mean, it is instant.
Yeah, it is. Acorn shot does have a little bit of a travel time, of course. You can also see the animation. But it does give vision, though.
True. Well, it is true, but if you know where they are, I guess it's not too big of a concern. That was quite the kill up from Thompson. I don't remember the Dota 2 anime. Usually, it wasn't it Marcy that kills the squirrel. Instead,
oh, that's true, actually.
They got that one wrong here, but Thompson's not going to be too bothered by that one. A little bit of extra gold in his pocket.
Can you imagine? Thompson just watched the anime. That one moment made him cry. Can't believe you killed the squirrel. Finally gets to avenge it. He's been training a Hoodwink mid for ages. OG just didn't want to let him play it. This is all a whole arc of the anime. I think Thompson would like that. I think that would be something that would suit his character.
I think something that's actually like quite a big strength here from OG is the fact that they do have a mid laner and a support who will gladly play Hoodwink, because we've seen how strong it can be in a couple different regions, and just being able to first pick it and still willing to take that one mid makes it really weird to draft against, and especially the way that Thompson plays it, fight breaking out.
The Power Strike, the Perma Stun with the Bushwhack. He's not getting out of this one. They even got strength. They don't mince their words here. They're gonna go full on with the ultimate. Or mince their spells, rather, as they also gonna go for that Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, just to highlight this, the level 4 Heavenly Grace is a bonus 50 damage here to Sumail when he's got the God Strength active. And that's huge in the early game as well. I mean, it's 16 minutes in, and you basically get a free, relic? It's huge.
Yeah. The Winter's Curse, though, that's going to now play against him as he killed his partner. No more Heavenly Grace for Sumail, but the Burrow Strike will keep Hanskin. Actually, will kill him, as S4 does hit Sumail with a Doom, but everything's falling around him. All of Alliance has to retreat. OG, they don't seem to care. Yeah, they've lost the Omnight, but everything else has died. Alliance just lost 3 for this. Nico Baby still wants to go in, gets surprised by a Burrow Strike into the Bushwhack. Sumail just got rid of his Doom, which means the Stormhammer was ready and available to finish off the Lifestealer.
Yeah, that's now a back-to-back death there for Nico Baby. I mean, they were doing their best to try and contest the Roshan, but if you cannot control Saksa in these team fights, it's just the ultimate counter to your team fight here. There's a Supernova in the pit. They knew there was a Supernova somewhere. They just didn't have vision on it, and that made the fight so awkward for them. No one could chase any further to try and secure the kill onto Sumail. They very easily are able to finish off Roshan, and Sumail is just farming like a madman here. He's got so much money.
I love seeing Thompson laugh. I could tell that was the sharpshooter kill that made him laugh at that. Protected by the egg. I mean, that's another way to protect the egg. Oh no. Oh no. They left the nether shell behind.
Whose is it?
What's happening? Someone pick up the nether shell. Oh, okay, Sumail was just leaving it for later. Oh.
Is it?
It's Alliance?
No, apologies.
No, it's
that's
theirs.
OG's.
No, it's theirs. Yeah, okay. I just thought I'd come out from the creeps. Okay. And you give it, of course, to the Sven, because, you know, amplify the Sven's magic damage. Big deal.
Tower is under attack.
Yep. Magic Resist is going to be really nice versus this Wyvern versus this Doom, as that's going to be the name of the game for them for now. He's going immediately into the Daedalus, though. Doesn't feel the need for a BKB when he's got the Omni Knight to back him up.
Fair, honestly. This good way to close in this matchup that Jenkins was the 114 matchup, we'll call it, between Lightstealer and Sven.
Seth,
Back they want to go for their kill.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, it's Thompson who can give chase. He still has the Ironwood tree, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to find the Acorn shot combo here. Arrow is going to connect onto Seb. Thompson is going to be a little bit too early there on the Ironwood tree this time around. We'll be able to escape, but no matter, Sumail is still able to find that tier 1 tower with the utmost of ease.
I see what trick Thompson is using now, and I didn't notice it until now, but he uses the Ironwood tree so he can use the bushwhack, because the bushwhack is a long projectile, or takes a while to get there, and use the Ironwood tree immediately. I've tried a million times, you can't use it with Acorn Shot that way, so you have to use Acorn Shot first.
Bottom, in trouble. He's got the guard active, but he is going to get focused and killed. That was going to be an RP out for them, so Limp deciding that the Sand King is definitely worth it. And I'd agree, you're not really looking to fight OG, not at the very least while there's Aegis is up. Winter's Curse, nice job. That will allow FNG to TP away, but it's not going to get a kill onto Thompson.
That trick is good. Throw the bushwhack, then immediately the tree. I like that. I mean, it didn't get to the Winter Wyvern this time, but it's very smart.
You used to be able to do that until they buffed her. Well, they buffed the speed of Acorn Shot, and now it's a little bit too fast for you to do that reliably. So yeah, so Seb probably a little bit, or sorry, Thompson make that is just doing the same trick here with the Ironwood tree instead, going into this Aghanim Scepter because he wants to get this the damage amplification going ASAP for his team. That's some way to get through this Cold Embrace heal.
Exactly, that trick no longer works. Limp, another bushwhack, but this time he knows, just destroy the trees. Best way to get rid of the bushwhack. And we're gonna see the build that Thompson loves going, which is gonna be the Aghanim Scepter immediately. A way to buff damage, buff the magical damage rather, and also reduce the stat of resistance with that Hunter's Boomerang. Nickel Baby.
Yeah,
you're not gonna catch him with the bushwhack.
No, likely not. That seems like a tall order. Even with this combo, it'd have to be Seb initiating onto him yet again. But Nico Baby definitely realizing there's enemy heroes missing off the map. Instead, it's going to just go and farm in the triangle, get himself an Empower buff. He's finished off the full Heaven's Halberd now, next into the AC.
Okay. Sumail is just going to farm these Ancients, right? He's going to dominate over the triangle. Alliance just want to avoid fights at all costs, it seems like. Waiting for the Lifestealer to kind of get online. I mean, I guess he's somewhat online with the Heaven's Halberd, but not enough to deal with the Sven, it seems like.
There's a Doom onto Saksa, yet again, just using these big ultis when they're not looking for a fight necessarily. He will tick down, although Hanskin leaping forward to make sure he can get the kill. Sumail is going to pick up the kill onto Saksa, over actually denying, sorry, he picks up the kill onto Hanskin rather, over denying Saksa. As, he's just in it for the gold here.
Okay, I mean, I don't think denies that. Okay, you give Doom a bit more gold. He's gonna get gold anyway with Devour. I think the kill is definitely much more worth it.
You want the kill. You want the kill, especially if you're a Sven. I mean, you're so far ahead. You do everything you can to extend this lead. That's in essence what they're doing with the Aegis here. OG not really making any huge efforts to smoke up and look for team fights themselves. Just looking to get this next damage item onto Sumail. Probably queue up the BKB next if he thinks it's necessary, or maybe he's just gonna go take even more damage here. Who knows?
And the way the Sven is built in, by the way, used to be the logic of why Sven was good against Lifestealer. This you deal so much burst damage, that physical of course, that Lifestealer can't heal in time with a feast, and that was the logic years ago before he got the attack speed buffs, etc., etc. But after Jenkins pub, of course, this was not the case anymore. And pros realized after that 114 pub that Sven actually loses to the Lifestealer. I still think the logic is pretty good. Oh, 117. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Master Jenkins. So, yeah, the Sven now going for, I think, is the right build against the Lifestealer, which is getting as much damage as possible. As you said, not concerning yourself with BKB, because really everything pierces BKB anyway on Alliance, so you might as well ignore it.
That's a good point, actually. It's not too great of a BKB game. It is for S4. He's got his now completed. Might need to use it here. Oh, Sumail might just be able to burst him through. There's going to be the Bushwhack, and they've secured the kill. Aegis reclaimed in the same swift movement, however. So we no longer have that one to play with here for the for OG.
So now Alliance, I'm wondering what power spike they really think is going to be the right one. Maybe it's going to be the AC on Lifestealer. That is going to mitigate a lot of the damage on Sven, but for now it's just pickoffs. Oh, Nico Baby, he might get picked off himself. Limp, there's the Bushwhack combo yet again. They have the Sharpshooter ready. I don't think Limp is making out of this one alive. He won't. Off with his head. And FNG, I think the next target does have a Winter's Curse to get away, but the Bushwhack actually got him. No, I don't know how, but Thompson is not going to let anyone escape. Alliance loses 2 for free, and yet again, these initiations, they're testing the waters, trying to find simple kills, but any small mistake here means an overcommitment.
Yeah, and that's kind of exactly what the panel was talking about here. You know, you TP in, Saksa TPs in, just waste no time dropping the egg immediately, and Alliance, and again, in no position to destroy that Supernova, are just left in a really awkward spot. They actually used the Supernova stun to continue chains down and up Limp. He had no chance to get out of there. Surprised that he went for like a kidnapping play like that without had the BKB fully completed. He's pretty darn close to it here. And
a kidnapping, is that what you call it? The skewer?
Sorry?
Is that the skewer play? A kidnapping?
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Okay.
it's the same thing for the tiny. You just, or the squirrel napping, right? Whoever he happens to get.
Okay. No. I was just asking because it's called. I've seen it called fishing, kidnapping. That's the first time I hear it, even from you,
Fishing,
dude.
sure. We'll go fishing. We'll go with
Okay,
fishing.
That was very dark. Okay.
Dire are scanning.
Sumail, though, with so much damage. Echo Saver now and the Daedalus. He's going to use that Mask of Banish. He wants to get through this tower. They will lose the tier 1 in exchange for this. His Alliance will propose that trade. Smoked up behind him. Limp closing in now on that BKB, but doesn't quite yet have it.
Okay. Once you get that BKB, perhaps they'll feel more confident to go in and force the 5-on-5. Sven is still looking scary, but you do have a Heaven's Halberd now to sort of deal with him. We haven't really seen a single like teamfight Winter's Curse, mostly just escape Winter's Curses. Or big teamfight Winter's Curse, rather.
Yeah. Well, we might see one now. Limp's got the BKB on the way. Bounty from the tier 1 tower helping him with that. Big items that we're looking for here. We won't quite be able to finish off this full AC for Nico Baby, but we at least have the plate mail for that extra bonus armor. Nice to have versus Sven.
That's very important. And we also get the boomerang now for Thompson. That's gonna most important, I think, in this game is the lowering the status resistance. That's gonna allow them to honestly perma-stun the Lightstealer yet again. They've been doing a good job of it until now. Oh, the initiation by S4 though, and this is the kidnapping you're talking about for the Sand King. They're gonna succeed. Seb is dead, but Nico Bay wants to go further, hoping to kill off the Sven. The Supernova is keeping Alliance at bay. It stuns only the Doom as the rest of Alliance just use the high ground. Winter's Curse not going to start that sharpshooter. But it is going to annoy the squad to a degree. RP up to 3, and they're going to punish them all at once. That area damage is too much for OG to deal with. Alliance finally taking the teamfight of their dreams, and with the Infernal Blade, they cancel Sox's TP. They're going to get the last kill they were looking for. They want to turn this into a team wipe, and they will accomplish it swiftly with one last skewer. Triple kill for Limp. What a skewer RP there in the middle of the fight.
Oh yeah. Again, BKB was their go time here, which is why I was shocked that they went for that play earlier at the mid-tier 1 tower. A bit ambitious, but now we see why, you know, they were really eager to look for a fight after this one. Roshan is up. I'm not sure if they know about it. Instead, they're going to look to perhaps get a cheeky little tier 3 tower here.
I mean, that was on point. Oof. I like the organization RP, right? You gotta bunch them up, like you're picking up your toys, and then you stun all of them together. He's made his own vacuum there.
Taken. He's got the epicenter. He's gonna go for it here. Blink stun.
Nice
Nico
rage.
Baby though, way too fast. Immediately on the rage. Limp doesn't have BKB. Doesn't need it though. Nico Baby is just gonna walk off the high ground. Do Scepter play though, out from Seb. He's not gonna set him up for much here. And will be able to escape.
That was an I can do it too, Seb. Watch me. Just yells him right after. Don't let him set up whatsoever. Nico really wanted those racks because he went for the melee. Unless they take another fight soon, they're gonna end up reaching. That's why I think he was committing a bit further for them.
And now without Epicenter, or, you know, really any of the ultimates here for a while, at least Sumail's got God's Strength back soon, Supernova in 10, and Sharpshooter doesn't really have a cooldown. But no GA and no Epicenter. I'm surprised that Alliance aren't considering going for Roshan. Not sure if they've scouted it.
Limp.
Second Rosh, they do it extremely fast.
Oh, OG is scouted, that's for sure. Yeah, they have God's Strength yet again, so they have the Mask of Madness. So Nico Baby's like, yeah, you're right, I forgot something in that top lane. Takes the racks immediately, but he's gonna go back. I'm assuming, I mean, they should guess something's happening. It's definitely the Roche. Oh, S4 just walks in. S4 almost got killed. In fact, he might just die here for free. S4 barely getting out thanks to the curse, and the curse will kill Thompson. Friendly fire here from Sumail. Thompson has no buyback, but they can still take the Roche as they're going for F&G right now. There's a Stormhammer. They don't have any more magical damage, it's just waiting him out. The Doom for Sumail. He's not gonna be able to Warcry himself. There's a Supernova, but quite defensive this time. And Nico just walks into it. Rage is not gonna stop the stun. but it'll allow him to get away with murder. The murder, the Sanking specifically.
And now Alliance can just finish Roshan. I mean, it's on 4k HP. You don't have the Squirrel for another 20 seconds. There's going to be no initiation here. It's all going to be on Seb here to initiate. No Supernova either. Yeah, they're going to be able to just say, thank you very much. You know, we were a little bit busy taking your top lane of Barracks, and how nice of us for you to prep Roshan for us as well.
Yeah. So kind, OG, as Alliance just take it right away. There's the shard given to Limp. I actually like that very much. If he's getting good skewers and good RPs, give him the Horn Toss too.
Yeah, that Horn Toss is really, really nice. You can catch multiple people with that as well, and it makes your combo a little bit easier to execute. You can go fishing even faster here now on our Magnus with that Horn. This is going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for OG. I was really expecting them to be able to go through that Roche a little bit faster, but the Moonlight Shadow, like I always said, it's kind of really showing its strength here. Not even kind of, it is. FNG just walks straight up to Thompson, gets a little bit scared for a second before he realizes Thompson has absolutely no idea he's here, and then they kind of just send in S4 to clump him up.
The classic way to deal with cores, just be invisible. They don't know what dust is. It's not in their inventory ever. And that Winter's Curse so valuable. I mean, it's also because the big difference in terms of HP between Hoodwink and the Sven, right? You're not going to Winter's Curse the Sven, but Hoodwink is a prime target and a glass cannon. It's the ideal situation for a Winter Wyvern. Some good curses, though, in general by FNG, so credit where credit is due. OG are setting up for a fight here.
Yeah, it's a good one as well, especially if they could find Limp. They've got vision. There's going to be the jump onto Limp now. Disarm for a while is going to be Sumail, as there's no Supernova quite yet for Saksa. He's holding on to it. Limp healed up. Look at the heal, and even with the Sunray, Nico Baby right on top of this Supernova, though. He's going to look to scramble it, and then he will be able to get that one done. Just about on the cusp of losing the Aegis, as the stun from Seb will do just about that. Hanskin leaping in. Oh, the crits from Sumail, though, will put him down immediately. Nico Baby's now back, ready to just run away, actually, with that Rage already active. Double buyback out from Alliance, though, is going to spook OG, and they'll back up to their high ground. Yep.
And with this, seems like the guys from Alliance want to continue putting up the pressure. I mean, they want to utilize these buybacks for something. Perhaps bait out an OG, who now used all the resources except for Epicenter and Garden Angel. Not the biggest things here, but, well, we hear the Epicenter. They go for the Life Dealer. Apparently, it's going to be huge. Nico activates the Rage in time. Open wants to heal back up. There's the RP as well. Sumail gets helped by the Guardian Angel, but dispelled immediately by the Doom. Who needs Purge when you got Doom? Sumail's down for the count, and they want to go for the Squirrel as well, but Thompson is capable of scurrying back to safety. S4 might be in trouble now. Hunter's Boomerang. These stuns last too long. S4 is not going to be able to get away. 70 seconds without him.
We have a curse coming from FNG.
Nice arrow.
And yeah, they're going to go for it. There's going to be the skewer onto Sumail. Look how far he's been fished away. That's a dieback on Sumail. He's dead for 110 seconds. Oh, there's the Horn Toss and almost the Ancient Golem. They're getting the kill, but at the end of the day, it's now Nico Baby with 2 extra kills off the tail end of that fight. OG were just hoping to chase a bit further, but this ward paying dividends. As our observers highlights, the Alliance straight back up into the high ground like they initially intended.
Sven's getting, sorry, I'm gonna actually catch Limp here, and that's gonna be a dieback from Limp. So actually, really good kill by OG here, as they're gonna be pushing high ground at the same time as we watch this replay. You know, high ground's dangerous, guys.
Beautiful arrow.
That arrow was on point, but to be honest, that high ground was not the play. We'll see. As they want to go for the Sanking, dispels the open wounds immediately. Nico maybe realizes he's not going to heal as much, but the Fee's doing a bit to keep him alive. He still doesn't infest. They catch him with a Pearl Strike. As in goes Saksa, Winter's Curse. There's nothing hitting him though. And neither can Alliance's team do so right now as they infest the Winter Wyvern, hoping to let FNG live. But FNG's already dead. They have to go hit the egg. Nico Baby going straight and scrambling it yet again as Nico proceeds to murder No Tail. No chance for No Tail. Thompson trying to get him with a scurry. Nico is going to chase him to the ends of the earth. Nico Baby wants this skill, but he gets bushwhacked instead. And he's dizzy a bit, turning around a bit too much. Nico won't die here, but he also is not going to get the kill he was looking for. The reinforcements are coming though. S4 running towards the base. Or the enemy base, mind you. As Seb
is popped back. He does have spells to use, as there's going to be the stun onto Seb initially though. Yule sept it up. He's got Burrow Strike if he can just get away with it. He actually Burrow Strikes aggressively. It's not going to do anything because S4's BK beat and Nico Baby was raged. Buyback instantly though on Seb as now they look to finally get Nico Baby out of the base. He's still holding on to a cheese though, although now consuming that one as he is bushwhacked to the tree and broken. S4 blinking away. And now just the Rage TP. And guess what? Nothing to go through it. He's free to go.
Alright. They are going to hit the Winter Wyvern though with this. FNG needs to find a way to escape. Instead, he's just going to gain some time for his team. As the Doom is also fighting a Hoodwink here. S4 trying to run away from Thompson, who's almost out of spells, but Thompson doesn't seem to care. Even with low mana, he can chase after this Doom. All he needs is a Bushwhack to set up for this. In fact, Samael's running towards him, but S4, now he's a bit too far gone. He might even be able to set up for a kill here if Alliance wants to re-engage.
So just a quick update on buybacks, by the way. Only 3 heroes didn't buy back in that last fight, being S4, Nico Baby, and Thompson. Thompson the only hero currently with buyback, but S4 is just 1 Devour away from it, as Seb is actually going to snag that DD rune. So pretty chaotic, a couple of diebacks to say the least, but OG, they still hang on to this game. They only actually lose the tier 3 in the bottom lane, and they eventually get through the Aegis and Cheese, and are just hoping to now get into a better position to fight for perhaps this next Roshan.
Okay. I got a Nullifier now fresh for that Nico Baby. A good way to cancel. I mean, you already needed the Purge. Nullifier will proceed to cancel all of the Guardian Angel shenanigans. No more scurrying. He might have just gotten tired of the scurrying, to be honest. Because that last fight, that's what saved Hoodwink completely.
Yeah, I mean, it's also going to be really nice versus the Omni too, right? It's kind of the item that he's going to hate now that you don't have Purge on Diffusal Blade anymore.
You can still Guardian Angel it. Sorry, you can still Heavenly Grace it out. So there's ways, and it not being purgeable like the Repel. That was very dumb, by the way, for the longest time. Like, it gives you magic immunity, but you can purge it. What? What kind of magic immunity is this? I was always very surprised by that.
I mean, Oracle's got that now, right, on the Edict?
No, it gives you magic. It gives you 100% magic resistance. It's different, friend. Magic immunity was the be all end all of. It's the BKBs, you know. It's the creme de la creme of spells.
Yeah, especially back then when Magic Immunity was really, really strong. It's got a little bit of a change with 7.20, I want to say, or one of those patches some time ago that everyone complained about, and now we all got used to it.
It's true. As we always do, right? New changes, we always complain. You can tell AUI, for example, is one of those players, the old guard, because he was talking about the Fusel Blade purging it. Like, okay. Yeah. That was an okay boomer moment from the battle.
Get more charges for it. Yeah, Purge is doing Weatherman segments now.
Yeah, exactly. He's gone from a sword to a talent, imagine. Nico Baby. Is he going to look for an Infest kill here, or is he going to save it still like he's done for these past few fights?
I think he's just going to get level 25. I think they're going to wait till this 25 talent to fight, and then they're going to look for it. I mean, Roche is going to be up to both of these teams. They know it's going to be about this next Roshan, so they're just looking to set out vision and just put themselves in the best position as possible to be able to take the fight easily.
That is actually beautiful, that graphic, by the way. Yes, he's going to go, I'm assuming the Rage talent, 9 times out of 10, honestly. The win rate of the other talents sometimes is a bit of a lie, because when it has such a low pick rate, it's often picked to meme or because you're winning by a bunch, right?
Yeah, what do you mean? Albet didn't end all his games in the major with 6 Desolators?
Exactly, right? Or had Divine Raper is one of the highest win rates because, of course, if you're winning with it, you probably did something right.
It's an AC finish. Seb jumping forward, will find Hanskin. Thompson immediately throwing forward the Bushwhack. But my goodness, buffing even his own damage. No buyback available. Seb is a bit too tanky now, especially with the Lotus Orb, so Nico Baby's not going to want to go on him. Using that open wounds, of course, doesn't want that reflected. He has taken that Rage talent here at 25. First one to reach it in the game. Seb actually not too far from his own here.
Pretty decent, actually. I'm assuming it's going to be the slow blind here. I mean, the Epicenter Pulses is kind of decent if it was like a level 20 talent. I don't think it's that great at level 25. Not against Lifestealer, not when PKPs are up.
Yeah, exactly. Not with this Rage talent, and especially not with the Lincoln Sphere, because now you can't even stun him. So he's going to be able to pop Rage and just kind of laugh in your face. Plus with 3k HP without the Armlet active, there's 3600 now with the Armlet active. I don't know if it's really that strong of a talent for the Epicenter anyway. Who knows? Maybe Seb, he's done the back of the napkin math and decides it's the right call.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Sandstorm. Particularly because also the Sandstorm blind here, it forces some awkward BKB usages. Because what if Lifestealer has to Rage just to deal with the Sandstorm's blind? Right, that's very annoying. Or to be able to escape the slow, it adds a whole dimension to Sanking's toolkit. I think that's one of the best talents, honestly, he has.
That is true, although I will say, you know, Limp is just going to go, okay, I'll just horn toss you and skewer you outside of your Sandstorm then. Or I'll force the fight somewhere else by just robbing Sumail and fishing him away from the fight. You know, that is going to be a bit difficult, right? It's a lot like playing against the Wukong's command in that way.
Yeah. Yep. He's in his burrow, you kidnap him away, as you would say.
Yep.
I think that's the appropriate term. I found the Roshan here. Oh, Nico maybe even surprised, but it's like, guys, there's a Roshan. Ags is ready on the Roshan as well. Do you have any... Actually, it's a good Doom Ags game, to be honest. To remove the cleave completely from this man, pretty big deal. Oh, Horn Toss actually plays against him here. No Till, though, and Dispel him. Lotus Orb helping him out, dispelling the Nullifier. In comes Seb, hoping for a kill, and he might just find it on Limp, but from behind S4 interrupts his initiation. He actually used the BKB, trying to tank the rest of OG, so he doesn't lose Limp in the process. Supernova has completed, but Lifestealer safe and sound. There's the Winter's Curse to set the fight, but it's only Seb attacking the Omnair right now. No Tail. No Tail's going to die here thanks to that Nullifier. Limp, he still has the RP, but doesn't want to use it just on Seb. They're waiting for Sumail, really. That's what they want to kill. Sumail comes back in, but he's been disarmed immediately. The head and Salberd. Nico maybe too quick. He hits him with a Nullifier, but nobody can chase after him. Instead, they're trying to deal with Seb, who's just so annoying. Nobody can actually finish him off. Hanskin might guess with the arrow. No, but the arrow gives vision for the Yule Scepter. And that's going to be, or should be enough to deal with this pesky Sand King, right? He has the... Oh, they're going to use the RP. They're done. They're done with Seb. No more shenanigans. This man has to die. Alliance is trying their best, and they'll finally accomplish it. But what an annoying Sand King that was. So difficult to kill him.
Gleipnir out from Topson, just looking to force Nico Baby back as he wants to be able to cut these waves. Seb, at the very least, forcing the enemies to take as long as possible to murder him is not going to do that much to stop this Roshan, unfortunately. Omni's back in 5 seconds, but the initiations are just going to be way too difficult here without Seb to blink and Burrow Strike in for you. OG, they might have no choice, though. In they go. They're going to at least try and burst through Mirana at the very least, but there goes Sumail. He at least picks up the TD rune, so Limp doesn't want to fight him anymore, as there's going to be the short distance blink onto S4. S4 getting absolutely chunked. They have to use the Winter's Curse just to make sure that he lives. Nico Baby, with the Rage now off cooldown, might be a little bit of a target here as he actually applies the Nullifier, and now the disarm to Sumail as he looks to turn and fight. Saksa, though, does not have Supernova for another 10 seconds. They've at least stunned up the Lifestealer and broken him now. Sumail getting pushed this way, that way yet again, but he's going to be able to lifesteal a little bit off of Limp before he flickers back away into the river. Nico Baby after Topson, now Saksa, who does have the Supernova, will now let it rip, forcing Nico Baby back as Sumail has jumped onto Limp and absolutely torn him apart in the river. Nico Baby hops inside of FNG. Gonna hop right back out, though, as they may look for more.
Yeah, Nico Baby's still strong, looking for an old tail. He really needs to get rid of this Omnight if he wants to man fight the Sven fair and square. But it's impossible. Oh no, Nico Baby's been kind of around in the end. You know, they did do the same thing with the Sven, but Sven's Blink Dagger allows him to be able to get in and out of fight. Almost playing like a Tiny in this fight, to be honest. At least they can get the Roche.
It's so huge for Sumail right now, but unfortunately they just can't quite contest it. They bought themselves so much time. That was a dieback penalty on Seb. He was set for 2 full minutes, and he's going to unfortunately just miss out on Roche by about 15 seconds. He would have been an absolutely beastly fight there for Sand King. Loves fighting around Roshan, but he's going to have to miss out on it this time.
So if S4 is keeping the Axe and not using it, is it because he wants to give it to the Mirana? I can only imagine. I mean, it's a good Axe for Mirana too, so fair. That or S4, I don't know, wants to surprise them. We'll see. Limp, there's a Shockwave. Seb, though, that's the Sandstorm slow. Really annoying Limp. In fact, Sumail comes in. Cold Embrace is not going to save him. The Doom has been used, though, on Sumail. But can they chase after him? That's the question. Doom has no tools to do so. Has to be Limp, and he's already lost his first life. He also used the buyback earlier, so he can't play too hastily. It's again this annoying Seb that's stopping them right in their tracks. Alliance just wants to hit the enemy K, but are unable to do so because No-Tail and Sarah making this impossible. No-Tail using that Garen Angel will save himself from the Lifestealer. The Nullifier finally hits. No-Tail should die in the backlines at port. S4 is going to die himself first. In fact, No-Tail will survive this onslaught.
With a curse.
Winter Wyvern, FNG, that curse is not going to save him from the Sunray, but thanks to Limp's RP, they can kill Sumail, put him out of the fight. As Nico Baby, looking for anything he can find at this point. Seb, with an Epicenter, will surprise the Magnus. Again, no buyback for him. Limp has to eat the cheese, skewers himself, but brings the Sand King with him, and the Supernova on top. The TP immediately will save Limp's life.
Man, both carries kind of just got taken for walks there. Now, Nico Baby, he's going to be in a bit of trouble now. He's going to be able to rage and TP away. No Tail just completely walked him around. Where did Sumail die? Who did he die to? FNG killed him?
No, he died to the Magnus. He RP'd him. Didn't you see?
Oh, yeah.
He RP'd Sven and then proceeded to obviously attack him and kill him. It was not that difficult once he got the RP, but they had to divide the team fight by a lot. It was not easy for them. And Alliance, I mean, honestly, what's keeping Alliance on their toes right now, it's really the sanking. There we go. Thank you, Observer.
Yeah,
see?
that's
once
right.
you get the RP off, yeah, exactly. So Nico Baby comes in, and it was relatively easy kill once they had the RP. But again, this was a huge effort to get Omni-Knight out, to get the Sanking out, you know, and that was what finally allowed them to do this. These two heroes are making life impossible for Nico Baby, who just wants to hit. He's a wee lifestealer. All he wants to do is hit his enemy Sven. He wants to be like Jenkins' enemy carry, win that pub, but he can't.
No, he cannot. Something you also can't do is look to ignore Sharpshooter. It's going to be upgraded to deal pure damage and go through that spell immunity. Now that Thompson's hit 25. Sumail, in the meantime, is going for that God Strength, which is further buffed, by the way, by Heavenly Grace when he's got that active, of course, because it just adds to your base stats. Again, a big reason why this combo is as strong as it is.
Just the brute force method against the Lifestealer. I like it. I think the Hoodwink, though, even bigger than the damage a Sharpshooter will deal, the break is a big deal against Nico Baby. Getting rid of Feast and Go... I mean, Go Frenzy is whatever, but getting rid of Feast is major. He's going to have to heal back up with open wounds, use the Infest cleverly. There's more tools now for OG. And Alliance need to figure out their own tools to deal with the Sanking particularly.
CS4. And it got strength. Sumail's going to want to go for it. The initiation from Seb. They're going to try and pull through S4, but there's the Cold Embrace immediately. FNG still holding on to the Winter's Curse. Will now drop that just to make sure S4 is able to escape. They've doomed up Sumail, but he's got God Strength active. Not seemingly willing to fight, though, as Limp on the way on in. Already using the RP here. Supernova's now out, trying to keep Arteezy alive. Heavenly Grace, GA on top as Nico Baby getting melted by the Ray of Sun. He's going to get stunned on the way back out before he's embraced by FNG. Seb with another stun on in, looking to channel up the epicenter. He's going to get it off, and that's 2 dead immediately out from the Epi alone. Nico Baby finds himself in an awkward spot. They get through the Lincoln Sphere, they bushwhack him, and they will be able to get the kill, all in exchange for Sumail. It's going to be a 4-for-1 trade in favor of OG.
Richie's so American, he sees EGs everywhere.
OG, oh my goodness. I heard Sumail and...
You did the call out for Arteezy is what I was joking about. But OG, they only lose Sumail there. Not that big a deal, honestly. Alliance, though, they will have to find a way to deal with this team fight again. Like that Nullifier, you could tell the Guardian Angel was always available. You don't have the secondary Purse to deal with it. And the Heavenly Grace can easily deal with a Nullifier. So that's not the perfect solution for that either. Alliance. What are you...
Oh, Saksa. He's got Refresher. He's done it.
He does, yeah, he does have the Refresher, but that was just a Supernova bait. Oh, the break hurting Mirana. I know. Alliance is to find a way to both kill Seb and kill Notil in the beginning of the fight, and it seems almost impossible. Seb even went for the extra shard now. More slows around the team fight, a bit of extra damage.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
We're into the base here already, though. OG looking to at least try and equalize here. There are you know, issues in the base, though. There's 2 wagons and a big old wave of super creep currently looking to get that last tier 4 tower down that OG currently have in their base. They will have to TP back and defend the base from just the creeps alone.
Okay. OG, they do go back, but I think this team fight's looking stronger for them, like I said, because of the way they're proposing them. So I don't think they're in a rush right now to finish this. It's not like they just recovered a small lead. It's that they're actually coming back into the game. Despite the fact that Lifestealer has such incredible net worth, these team fights are just looking really good for them. And I mean, the best solution to Lifestealer is kiting him. Nico Baby might consider at some point going for some sort of mobility like a Blink Dagger. For now, he's thinking of the Scotty as a way to slow down the Omni-Knight. Actually, not a bad idea. Together with a Ghoul Frenzy. Hopefully that's enough. And then at least if you can kill Omni, then fine, Sankin can roam around and do his shenanigans, but at least kill the Omni-Knight so you can deal with the Sven.
Seb's got already the Bloodstone flying out to him here, so he's going to have a little bit of lifesteal in these fights and a bit of burst healing at his disposal now. Aghanim Shard on top of this. Of course, now only triggers if there's enemies around you. As OG, they're going to smoke up. What are they going to find here, though? Limp ready to break smokes And with this RP,
Oh, the skewer got evaded by the burst, right? There's the Doom use. This got triggered. They want to kill the Sand King. They're actually just walking towards the egg, though. Gotta destroy Saksa. The RP to punch him up, and they know Seb's the target. That Doom was worth it. Goodbye to Seb. With the Nullifier, they get rid of the Guardian Angel and No-Tail, and then now get rid of No-Tail. The Supernova has been available, though, but they're already gonna kill Sven. So who cares if the egg explodes? Your carry's dead, OG. What are you gonna do now? Alliance might even take Saksa for a ride. There's the Splinter Blast on top of that. There's the Shockwave to get him back. They want Thompson on top of that. Nullifier gets rid of the Scurry. Thompson needs to use the pushback. Wants to get a kill before he dies. Just needs to get away from Nickel Baby. But Nickel Baby's not letting up. Thompson trying to scurry in the trees. Nickel Baby's afraid of no trees. This is not like a cliff. He's going to kill Thompson. He tried his best. But there's ever so much you can do against the Lifestealer. Alliance are now going to do it. They're actually going to reach the high ground a second time after a couple of missed team fights. They finally found a solution.
they're just going for turquoise. They know there's no buyback on Sumail right now. It's going to still be on cooldown for another minute, even if he had the gold, which he doesn't, by the way. Tier 4 tower already nuked through by the creep wave. Nico Baby focusing onto the throne as S4 just making sure they can get rid of Thompson one last time. He's doing a fair bit of damage. He's going to have to pop the BKB. Nico Baby and Limp, though. Objective gamers here going straight for the throne as the GG is dropped. Alliance, they do it. They win 2-0 here versus OG. They're going to the lower bracket finals where they're facing T1 tomorrow.
That FNG always with a delayed happiness, but such a pure expression. Meanwhile, S4, this is what happiness looks like for S4. Look at that slight smile. It charms anyone here. It was an impressive game by Alliance, and honestly, OG, there was a moment where I really thought they were doing just purely on mechanical skill. I don't think their draft did anything wrong against them, and the Sand King was doing so much, even went for an Aeon this preemptively to deal with the Doom, but one misplay at that point would have crushed your whole lineup, and that's exactly what happened. That small misplay where Sand King was a bit out of position, he